Hey there, fellow Trailblazers, I hope you guys are all doing well. So the beta for the version 3.2 update has finally gone live just a few hours ago. And we have finally received the full kit details for both of the upcoming limited characters, which are CASTORICE, whose banner is expected to go live in the first phase of version 3.2, as well as Anaxa, whose banner is expected to go live in phase 2 of the update. For today's video, I'll only be going over the kit for CASTORICE. But I'll also be doing a follow-up video right after this one going over Anaxa's kit as well. So if you haven't already, you can stay tuned for that by subscribing to my channel. But before we begin, let me ask you a question. So do you want to pull for cool characters like Tribby and Mighty Eye, but you find the in-game prices too expensive? Well, fear not. Lootbard GG is the best top-up platform for all your gacha spending needs and provides a huge 20% discount compared to the in-game prices. Lootbar supports many big games, which includes Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and even Zenless Zone Zero. Let's try to buy the 3281 Shard Pack for $40.48, which costs about $50 in-game for comparison. All I have to do is enter my server and UID, and my purchase will be sent to my in-game account. After just waiting under a minute, I received my Shard Pack top-up. Lootbar also has tons of positive reviews and cooperates directly with official Hoyoverse routing partners, making it very safe and secure. Just click on my link in the description or in the pinned comment to get an additional 8% discount today. Putting the sponsor aside, let's get right into the new info without wasting any more of your time. Starting with her basic attack, which deals quantum damage equal to 70% of CASTORICE max HP to one enemy. Let's now move over to her skill, which has two versions. The first version is a blast attack, which consumes 40% of all allies' current HP and deals quantum damage equal to 62% of CASTORICE max HP to the main target, and 36% of CASTORICE max HP to adjacent enemies. While the second version is an enhanced AoE attack, which first consumes 50% of all allies' current HP with the exception of the Dead Dragon. CASTORICE and the Dead Dragon then launch a joint attack that deals quantum damage equal to 30% and 52.5% of CASTORICE max HP. Moving over to the ultimate, which summons the Memo Sprite Dead Dragon and advances its action by 100%, and at the same time creates a field called Lost Netherland, which decreases the enemy's all-type resistance by 25%, and if the effect from CASTORICE Talon is active, the effect is extended to the Dead Dragon. The Dead Dragon has 140 speed and set max HP equal to 100% of max Stamen Nova. Furthermore, if the Dead Dragon acts 3 times, or when its HP is 0, it disappears and dispels the field. Next is CASTORICE Talent, which states that Stamen Nova's maximum value is equal to 100 times the sum of all characters' levels on the battlefield. And for each point of HP lost by allies, CASTORICE gains 1 point of Stamen Nova. Each point increases both CASTORICE and the Dead Dragon's damage dealt by 25%. This effect stacks up to 3 times and lasts for 3 turns. And when Stamen Nova reaches its maximum value, CASTORICE Ultimate can be used. One thing to note, however, is that when the Dead Dragon is on the field, Stamen Nova cannot be gained, and for each point of HP lost by all allies except the Dead Dragon, the Dead Dragon recovers an equal amount of HP. In addition to the listed skills and talent for CASTORICE herself, her Dragon Memo Sprite also has its own set of skills and talents as well. Starting with the first skill, which deals quantum damage equal to 42% of CASTORICE max HP to all enemies. Then there is the Dead Dragon's second skill, which consumes HP equal to 25% of the Dead Dragon's max HP and deals quantum damage to all enemies equal to 53.2% of CASTORICE max HP, and if the HP is insufficient, it will drop to a limit of 1 HP, and using this ability will not end the turn. Furthermore, using this ability repeatedly will enhance it, lasting until the Dead Dragon disappears. And when HP is less than or equal to 25%, using this ability will actively trigger the Dead Dragon's third talent ability effect. And speaking of talents, the dead dragon has 3 talent abilities. Starting with the first talent, which states that when the dead dragon is on the field, it acts as backup for all allies, and when allies take damage, their current HP can be reduced to a minimum of 1, after which the dead dragon will bear the damage received at 500% of the original damage until it disappears. Next is the second talent, which states that when the dead dragon is summoned, it increases the damage dealt for all allies by 10% for 2 turns. And lastly, there is the third and final talent, which states that when the dragon disappears, it deals 6 instances of damage, with every instance dealing quantum damage equal to 70% of CASTORICE max HP to 1 random enemy. Last of the basic abilities is CASTORICE technique, which lets CASTORICE enter the death addle state for 20 seconds, and while this effect is active, enemies are unable to approach CASTORICE on their own. Furthermore, while in this state, attacking will cause all enemies within range to enter combat. And at the same time, summon the dead dragon. The dead dragon starts with its current HP equal to 50% of max Stamen Nova, and after entering battle, consumes 40% of allies' current HP and advances the dragon's action by 100%. Additionally, after entering battle and before summoning the dragon, CASTORICE gains Stamen Nova equal to 30% of maximum Stamen Nova. Now that we're done with all the basic abilities, let's now go over CASTORICE's 3 major traces. Starting with the first trace, which states that while CASTORICE or the dead dragon's respective HP is at 50% or higher, it then increases their respective speed by 40%. Moving over to trace 2, which states that while the dead dragon is not on the field, 100% of excess healing for each ally target will restore an equal amount of HP for the dead dragon. Each restoration cannot exceed 15% of max Stamen Nova and the dragon's max HP. And finally, there is CASTORICE's third and final trace, which states that when the dragon disappears, it restores HP for allies equal to 10% of CASTORICE's max HP plus 250. And finally, let's go over CASTORICE's signature LIGHTCONE, which has a HP stat of 1270, attack stat of 529, and defense stat of 396. The main effect is called Engrave, and states that equipping the LIGHTCONE first increases the wearer's max HP by 30%. Furthermore, when the wearer or their memo sprite loses HP during their own turn, the wearer gains Death Flower, which allows the wearer and their memo sprite to ignore 24% of the target's defense when dealing damage, lasting for 2 turns. Additionally, when the wearer's memo sprite disappears, it advances the wearer's action by 12%. This effect can only trigger up to 1 time, and the trigger count resets every time the wearer uses their ultimate. So that's basically all of the info we just got related to the full kit and abilities for CASTORICE. If you found the info in this video helpful, feel free to give it a like, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all the latest HSR news and information. That's it for now, so I'll see you in the next video.